The views and opinions expressed on any program are those of the producers and/or the persons appearing on the program and do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of FRC Media, Bristol Community College, or the City of Fall River.
Hello everyone and welcome back to Bristol Thyme. Today we'll be talking about local food and the benefits of supporting local farms. Dawn DeMarco, a nutritionist, visited Under the Sun Farm in Dighton, and there she spoke to the owners, Caitlin and Milton Texera, about their farms and about the farm stand and the importance of buying local foods. Let's take a look.
Hello everyone, my name is Dawn. I'm the nutritionist at Bristol Elder Services. Today we are here at Under the Sun Farm. I'm here with the owners, Milton and Caitlin Texera. They're going to tell us a little bit about their farm and we're going to show you guys around. So let's get started. You guys want to tell me a little bit about the farm, how long you've been here?
Yeah, we've been here about 2 years now. We've been farming in Dighton for 8 years now. We farm about 30 acres throughout Dighton, a little bit in Taunton. We do a mixed variety of vegetables, small fruits, and we do bedding plants, flowers, and vegetable starts for the garden. Such things.
Great. So what other types of produce do you grow on the farm specifically?
Well, this time of year we're coming to the end of our strawberry season, but we just started picking shell peas and English snap peas. We'll have zucchini and different kinds of other summer squashes coming in soon. We're harvesting radishes. We had spinach this week. What else? Anything else?
Chard, Swiss chard,
Awesome.
kales, collard greens.
Great. And then you guys also you have plant starters, you have herbs, things like that, so people can come here and start their gardens for their homes. Do you use any type of irrigation on your farm?
Yeah, we have different kinds of irrigation. We use drip irrigation, which is a low-profile irrigation system that's very environmentally friendly, reduces the amount of water we use, but we also do use overhead irrigation on some crops that require a little bit more water and a little more impact.
Awesome. Let's see. Any pesticides, if you use any?
We do use crop protectants that have been organically certified. We're not an organic certified farm, but we try to stay away from anything that's very intrusive to the plant. So we tend to be more at the state.
Okay, great. And then do you guys use compost or do composting here?
We do compost a lot of our extra materials or things that have gone a little bit bad in the field and such, or for processing leaves that get cut off, lettuce and stuff. That goes into the back of the property, and we turn that over, and eventually that will get put into the farm. And we use pasteurized chicken manure for a lot of our field production because it requires a lot of fertilizer.
Okay, awesome. And then do you have a CSA program here? And if you do, could you kind of explain to our viewers what that is?
So we do, yeah. We have a CSA program.
Mhm.
Ours is a 20-week season. And what CSA is, it stands for Community Supported Agriculture.
Mhm.
So our customers buy in and pay for their produce ahead of the season. This gives us capital money to buy seeds and fertilizers and repair tractors and all of that in the early season, so like January, February, March. And then starting late May through early October, our members come once a week on their given day and pick up their farm share. So
Awesome.
It's sort of the best of what's in season at that moment in that week.
Yeah, it's a great way to get veggies all summer long and not having to worry about paying for it every week. You know, you pay upfront, which is great. So that's awesome. Great. So now I'm going to ask you guys a little bit about the stand that we're here in right now. So what are your hours of operation right now? And are you a year-round farm stand?
Right now, we are open for summer hours 7 days a week. We're open 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. This is our second season in this location. Last winter, we had a few specific weekends we were open over the coldest months because we are in the greenhouse, and heat is it's possible, but it's pricey. We sort of shortened our weeks that we were open so that we could offer the freshest, best produce that we could find.
Awesome.
Kind of storage crops for the winter. This year we hope to have a little bit more, and each year we kind of keep hoping to grow on that again.
Great. Awesome. And then do you accept SNAP or HIP and credit cards?
Yes. Yep.
Okay,
We
great.
accept cash,
And
SNAP, HIP, credit cards.
for the viewers, do you think you could explain a little bit about the Healthy Incentives program?
Sure. So Healthy Incentives program is HIP, and if you have a SNAP card, it's automatically part of your card, the program. What it allows you to do is buy fresh produce at our farm stand or at specific farmers markets throughout Massachusetts, and get reimbursed. So depending on the number of people in your household, you can get $40, $60, or $80 worth of produce per month reimbursed right back onto your card.
Awesome. Great. Yes, and that's accepted here. So a great spot if you're looking for a HIP retailer. What kind of things are sold here in the farm stand? I know we're here in it, so you can see a little bit what's behind us. If you want to just explain a little bit what's here.
So we have our locally grown produce, things that come off our farm, like the shell peas, strawberries, greens, lettuces, bok choys. We also bring in locally sourced other produce, like some of the potatoes, the apples. Corn right now is coming from Georgia, corn on the cob, but it will be ours in about a month, less than a month.
Great.
And then we also do have some locally sourced Aruta's dairy milk. We have an assortment of local cheeses. We do sell frozen blount soups. We have frozen take and bake pies. We have local honey. Our honey is sourced from hives here on our farm, as well as hives that are right down the street in Dighton and up the street in Taunton.
Awesome. You kind of already answered this, but are you guys collaborating with other farms? I know you said that you're bringing in, honey and milk from other farmers. So maybe talk a little bit about your relationship with other local producers in Dighton.
So we made a lot of connections through farmers markets in our first years of business, and other local makers. So we have some local grocery that we carry. We have other local farmers, like the dairy farmers for the cheeses and the meat, eggs and milks. But we will also bring in other vegetables and fruits from orchards, things that we don't grow or don't offer on our farm. We bring them in locally when we can, so that we can offer a full arrangement, a full wide variety.
Yes. So it's kind of like a little one-stop shop, try and get everything here when you can, right? Yep. All right. Now a couple fun questions. So what is your favorite part about being a farmer or a farm owner?
I guess the favorite part is it's when you actually see at the end of the day what you've accomplished for many months for product. Seeing customers come in and pick up that product and being really excited for it, that's really, I think that's the best part. There.
That's great. What about you?
I love selling the produce. I love seeing people's faces. We had a customer come in this week whose 5-year-old child told them, "Can you make the tomato basil risotto? You're going to need to go to the farm stand." And it's just things like that, seeing each generation kind of growing up, eating healthy and eating locally, and really appreciating what's in season.
That's great. All right, last question. Why do you think supporting local farms is important?
Well, you're supporting your community, you're supporting your neighbor, and that's really the key to it. And those are the people around you that are being the stewards of the land. They're also protecting your environment because they're the caretakers of these big fields around the community. So, I think that's pretty important.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much for having me. It's been so great. I hope you guys come down and visit Under the Sun Farm. Next, we're going to give you a little tour of the farm stand and the land behind us. So I'm here in the farm stand at Under the Sun Farm, and I'm going to give you guys a little tour of everything that they offer here. So we're going to start here at the front. They have a nice selection of herb plants, as well as all these beautiful vegetables. They have green peppers, red peppers, ginger, zucchini, carrots, summer squash, cabbage, broccoli. Over here is everything grown on the farm. So they have some beautiful peas and some gorgeous strawberries. We're right about at the end of strawberry season, so definitely come down and get those. Some beautiful beets right here. They do source local makers products here. So they have some beautiful salsa from Kane's Kitchen. We have bok choy, baby spinach, succulents, some fruit over here. So again, they do bring in fruit from other producers, just so this can be kind of a one-stop shop. So they have rhubarb, cherries, green grapes, bananas, melons. Over here we have some beautiful tomatoes, some nice spring onions, leaf lettuce, blueberries, fennel, mushrooms, some beautiful potatoes and onions, apples, peaches, and some corn. Again, this corn is from Georgia right now, but they will bring in their own corn once they have it. Beautiful hanging pots, and then some nice plants over here. And then lastly, they do have milk and soups from Blount Soups. They also have some frozen pies in there, cheeses, a really, really great, beautiful local farm stand. Definitely come check them out. They are open 7 days a week, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. They are open. Here's the outside to look for. They have some beautiful vegetable plants. What do we have here? Swiss chard, gorgeous Swiss chard. Some beautiful mint right there. All types of nice vegetable plants for your garden. They have some soil. And this is the stand from the outside. We are on William Street in Dayton, Massachusetts. 325 William Street. And it's just beautiful. Come on down. Stock up on your nice veggies. Also have some really great local honey, great for allergies. The bees are actually from hives on the farm. So this is very local honey. They also have some great pasta from Auntie Dally's, the local maker here in Mass, and some elderberry syrup. So come check it out.
Great. Now that we've seen that video, that's a great local farm, and that's in Dayton. But let's talk a little bit more about why it's important to buy locally. Dawn, what is local food?
So there's no like big definition for local food, but there are like a few smaller definitions. So ones that I like are eating food that was grown or produced within 100 miles of where you live, purchasing food directly from a local grower in your community, like Under the Sun Farm that I went to, and also growing food yourself. So having a garden, if you like to hunt or fish, that's gathering your own food. So those are some of the definitions that I like to define local food as.
Oh, okay. So is local food healthier than the food that you buy at a grocery store?
So there are two really important aspects with local food that I like. So the taste is typically better with local food, and the nutrition content can be higher with local food. So food grown locally typically tastes better after harvesting because the produce is allowed to ripen on the vine. So the longer it sits on the vine, the more the flavor is going to develop. The nutrient content is also going to develop. And then once it's picked off the vine, the nutrient content kind of starts to deplete. So if you're getting local food, there's less time for that nutrition of the produce to deplete. So if you think about like a tomato, if you get a tomato in January at a grocery store, it's going to be like pink, it's going to be hard,
Yeah.
it's not going to taste very good. But if you get one in the middle of July from a local farm, you know that it was probably picked earlier that day or the day before. It's going to be nice and juicy red and really, really flavorful. So that's why local food typically tastes better, and the nutrition is a lot higher for the most part.
So is there a variety of produce at local farm stands?
Yeah, so as the video showed, Under the Sun Farm had a really big variety of local food. And there's also, local food is a great way to learn more about the food history of your food. So you know like how it's grown, 'cause you can ask your local grower. You might even find like a new favorite food at the farm stand. So yeah, typically there are a lot of varieties at local food producers.
So if somebody's thinking about the environment, do you think that buying locally is also better for the environment?
Yeah, so our big grocery stores, they do a lot of exporting and importing. The average food item travels like 15 to 3,000 miles just to get to us. So there's a lot of travel, which means there's a lot of greenhouse gases being emitted before it gets to the table. So food production relies a lot on like packaging and all this stuff, which ultimately leads to waste. So typically local food is better for the environment just because you're kind of eliminating all the traveling for exporting food across the country, and you're also eliminating all the packaging that comes with it. So it's typically better for the environment.
Okay. So would you say that local food is safer to eat?
Yeah, so the elimination of all the traveling kind of diminishes the risk for a foodborne illness. I mean, there is still a really small chance, but typically foodborne illnesses are occurring on these really, really big industrial farms where there's like livestock nearby. So there's a lot of people that are touching the produce with those big farms. So that is also a big risk for a foodborne illness. And typically local food, only a few people are handling it, and it's in a really short amount of time. So there's not a lot of time to get those viruses and stuff on the food. So it is typically safer to eat. Yeah.
So I've gone to local farms
Yep.
and farm stands, and I've seen that they sometimes accept SNAP or
Yeah.
Something called HIP.
Yeah.
Can you explain what that is?
Sure. So SNAP stands for the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, which is essentially an EBT card. Food stamps is another word for it. So this is for somebody who is lower income. They can't typically afford groceries, so they need a little bit of assistance. So they'll get a card and they'll get an amount every month to spend at a grocery store. A lot of local farms do take that. And then with the EBT card comes the HIP program. So the HIP program is a state-funded program. Anyone that has an EBT card can automatically is enrolled in this program. And basically what it is you get an allotted amount of money every month to spend at a farm stand or a farmer's market. And how it works, it's basically like an instant reimbursement. So like if you go to a farm stand and you give them your SNAP card and you're like, hey, I want a $5 bag of carrots, it'll run your card, $5 will come off and then instantly go back on. So it's essentially free produce. And you get up to, so a household of like 1 to 2 gets $40 a month. So it's a really, really great program.
So it's instantly. So if somebody gets like their benefits at the beginning of the month, they can go to a farm stand or a local, and get all of their veggies and whatever they want. And then the next day, all of those benefits are back.
So instantly, the SNAP. So it takes it off your SNAP money and then puts it right back on. So yeah, it's a really great program.
That's really great.
But only vendors and farm stands that accept HIP and have the equipment to process it can take it. So not everywhere is going to take it. Under the Sun Farm that we just saw, they accept SNAP and HIP, so that's a great place to use it if you're in the Dighton area.
So do farm stands and local farmers markets, do they usually have, like, do the vendors say that they accept that?
Yeah, so
do you normally
typically
have to ask,
if you go to a farm stand or a farmer's market, if they accept SNAP, they're kind of mandated to have signage up.
Okay.
So they will have a sign. I believe the sign is kind of like a basket of fruit, and it will say Healthy Incentives Program, like we accept SNAP. So typically there should be signs up if they accept it. And you can also go look on online as well. You should be able to see who takes it.
Okay. And we also, like in July, normally there's like the seniors farmers market coupons. So to be eligible to receive the farmers market coupons, what is the eligibility?
So you need to be 60 years of age or older. You have to have a specific amount of income, so you typically need to be lower income. You could also be disabled, living in senior housing, where congregate nutrition services are provided. So a hot meal might be served at your local senior center or a housing site. And the coupons will be distributed this July to your local senior center. So definitely look out there for those. And then the coupons can only be used on fruits, vegetables, and honey. And the farm stand or vendor at a farmer's market has to be able to accept them. So not everyone is able to accept them. However, most places around this area in Bristol County do accept them, which is great.
Right. And I think this year that the farmers market coupons are going to be a $50 coupon booklet.
Yeah, they're $50.
Right?
So they used to be $25. They actually doubled the amount this year. So
that's really
great.
great.
Really great.
Okay, great. Well, thank you everyone, and we'll see you again next time.